Hi, this is Drew Garrison, and this is 45 minutes of my stand-up. Thanks, guys. All right, so we'll get started here in a second. Tony Danza, he dies in the movie. Oh, he did smoke though. Smoking in a kids movie. Yeah, smoking's frowned upon. Like the scene in The Lion King that they didn't show you was where uh where Mufasa was lighting cigarettes. Yeah, Simba's dad, he lit cigarettes. After that, he fell off the cliff. Yeah. So, yeah, I have a job, but I didn't always have a job. So I'd like to take you through of what I'd like to call the emotions of unemployment. Happy, sad, exasperated, and finally, acceptance. Well, I don't have a job, and I hate that. Oh, acceptance is the best one. Oh, yeah. Um, yeah, so at some point in my life, I moved into a new apartment. And when I was there, I sat in a chair and made a weird noise. Wow! 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 I just made a weird noise. Wow! 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 And I was the only one in the room, so it didn't matter. Nah. Yeah, so do you guys remember like monster truck rallies? Like in the 90s, that was like the thing. Like there'd always be like commercials for like the monster truck on Sundays. And there'd always be Gravedigger. It would be like making his miraculous return, Gravedigger. Sunday, 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 and the return of Gravedigger. From the crypt, Gravedigger. Back from the dead, Gravedigger. Dug up one last time, Gravedigger. I guess since he was a gravedigger, he would die and then dig himself up again and again and again and again and again and again because he was gravedigger. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Yeah. So when I was a kid, I used to play with a yo-yo, and because like a yo-yo, like it's like double the fun, You like put it, you like maneuver it down. It's like yo, and you move it up, and it's like yo, yo, yo. Dude, that's cool. Yeah. So I used to think that spin class was just like a class where you take someone by the arms and like spin around in circles. But no, it's actually exercise bikes. Yeah, it's exercise bikes. Yeah. So when I was growing up, I had a friend named Jack Register. And my dad was like, what do his friends call him? Cash? Because his name's Register. So, like, Cash Register. Oh, man. Y y yeah, dude. Like, that's such a liquid name. Register. Sunday, 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 Gravedigger. Okay. Yeah, so, Like when I was in college, there was a kid in my college who went to college at 16. College at 16. Are you serious? Like college at 16. Like please enjoy that wife and kids at 17. Like just like think about all the things you're missing. Like sleeping through like countless study halls. Like talking to that girl at the end of the hallway. You know the one in the cute plaid skirt? Yeah, that one. It'd be like you'd say hi and it'd be like, "Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Hi." But you're skipping that because you're going to college. College at 16. Oh my God. College at 16. That kid could have been the next Bill Gates. Pretty cool. Yeah. So, speaking of like your young adolescence, um, did you ever think about how cool retirement homes are going to be in like 30 years? Like nowadays, like our grandparents, like they go to retirement homes and they read. We will play video games. We're going to be racing, we're going to be shooting, and we're also going to be like playing the same games that they play, only on the computer. Like we'll be playing solitaire, but we'll be playing it digitally with just ourselves. Solitaire. And we will also make TikTok videos. Oh joy. I can't wait to retire so I can do the same things I do now. Whoa. So, speaking of older people, like I was talking to my grandmother recently, who just turned 95. Whoa. Yeah, and she's like, "Hey Drew, did you know that Queen Victoria was the first person to wear lingerie?" No, that was Victoria's Secret. Grandma, have any interesting information on the dressing habits of Winston Churchill? Okay. Winston Churchill. Hmm. Yeah, so like a lot of times I think about smells. I think about why things smell. I think about how things smell. I think about like what was the first smell? Could it have been dinosaur? Mm, that was a long time ago. Like, yeah. Well, that was pretty prehistoric. Right. Historic and prehistoric. Because we still have smell now. So I've deduced if I had a male fragrance line, it would be called vulnerability. Mmm, what's that smell? Fear. Yeah. So confession, my favorite video game of all time, Mario Party 2. Yeah. And getting back to retirement homes, what would I play in retirement homes? Mario Party 2. Wouldn't even have to go online. I would just like turn on a Nintendo 64 because yeah, I'd have one and play Super Mario Party 2. And the main reason I love Mario Party 2, Toad. He's a giant mushroom, man. He's a mushroom. And he hangs out, with the other Mario characters. Like Mario, who's a plumber. So Mario Party 2 is basically a mushroom, a monkey, and a plumber. hanging out. I don't know about you, but that is quite the love triangle. Yeah. So to play Mario Party 2, you navigate across a board trying to collect gold stars. But in order to get gold stars, you need to get gold. And when you don't have enough gold to pay for a star, yeah, the Toad character just like shows up and goes, "Wow!" Why does he do that? Like Toad, is he happy? Is he sad? Or does he just have a secret crush on Mario? I think that's more of a Mario question. Um, I think he'd be the right plumber to ask about that. He's a plumber. Yeah. Yeah, so I used to work at a movie theater and you know, you learn some pretty interesting things working in a movie theater. For instance, this one day my coworker thought the word matinee was pronounced manatee. So she's like, the manatee starts at 1:30. Mm, manatees and matinees. They're not so different. One is a time of day, the other's a fish. No, but I believe that we live in a world where both manatee and matinee can coexist. It can be like I already see the slogan. Like movie theaters could adopt aquariums. Like yeah, yeah, I can see the slogan. Come for the manatee, stay for the matinee. Yeah. Um so when I was a kid, I used to collect action figures, meaning you used to play with Barbies. Yeah. And when you play with Barbies, there's two types of Barbies. There's like the kind that you actually play with, and there's the kind that you like keep in the package. So over time, they grow in value. Like for example, if I save a Barbie now and it's worth $10, in 10 years, it'll be worth $5. Yeah, I looked that up. They actually go down in value now. They were on a brief surge because of the Barbie movie, but now down. Yeah, so another confession. One of my favorite songs is Ain't No Hollow Back Girl, by Gwen Stefani. Like she says the word bananas twice. This is bananas, Bananas, once. This is bananas, Bananas, twice. Who is this song designed for? Like, um, hey Gwen, like, does she really like fruit? Or are things just really, really crazy? Like, I feel like this song is like written for like Sesame Street. Like, I'm expecting like Cookie Monster to come out and be like, bananas, it should be about cookies, bananas, Bananas. That's how you spell bananas. Gwen Stefani, bananas. So, I have the same birthday as Miley Cyrus. And you know what? We still have the same birthday. All of these years later, we still have the same birthday. November 23rd. She's exactly 2 years younger than me. But I have the same birthday as Miley and Snooki. So that means Snooki's mom and my mom had the same idea. They had sex. Sex. I guess that was the situation. Yeah, I guess that was the situation. So, like, sometimes I'll be driving in my car and I'll just, like, stop in front of a traffic light and, like, think about it. Like, how much does it suck to drive and to be colorblind? Like, dude, like, if you pull up to a traffic light, how do you know? How do you know, man? Like, okay, like they like memorize the order and so yeah, they memorize the order. So they do know. Still, how much does it suck? Dude. Yeah. So when I was a kid, I really wanted a pair of tap shoes because like as a kid, there's like two kinds of shoes. There's like the shoes that light up and there's shoes that make noise. Like, oh, shoes that make noise? Like, okay, your parents will hate you, but you have shoes that make noise. Oh my goodness. And then later they put out a third option. Shoes that are mobile. Like they had these shoes called Heelys that had wheels. What? Yeah, like they put wheels on shoes. So they were like roller skates and you could like roll all over the place. What a terrible idea. So when I was a kid, I watched the show The Big Bang Theory because it was on. And it's also funny. Yeah, and it also had Kaylee Cuoco. They really should have changed the name to The Cuoco Show. The Cuoco Show. Kaylee Cuoco. The Cuoco Show. Sounds like a spinoff. Yeah, so when I was a kid, like they advertised the movie um Stuart Little like on a daily basis. There'd be this like preview for it that came on TV that would be like, it's today, it's today, it's today, it's today. Like the little kid in the movie, George, who looked like me, would constantly say, it's today, it's today, it's today, it's today. Oh, that commercial. Could it just be tomorrow already? Like, I understand how it can be today because it is today. But it can't be today, tomorrow. Tomorrow has to come. So it can't be it's today, because it can't be today twice. It has to be it's today, then it's tomorrow. All T days have to be created equal. You have to have one today and one tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah, when I was a kid, I watched the show Pokemon, and it had a detrimental impact on my life. Because now, whenever I get an erection, it's like, Pika! Yeah. So I also listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. Yeah. Um, did you know she's not actually from Nashville? No, like Taylor Swift's from Reading. Yeah, Taylor Swift's from she's from a lame stop on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. She's from Reading, man. Like she's from a she like there's a Monopoly piece called the Reading Railroad. Dude, like Taylor's like from a Monopoly piece. Yeah, like apparently she convinced her mom to send her to Nashville. I guess at like age 13 her mom sent her to Nashville and she was like, "Bye, Taylor. Make good choices. More importantly, make good music. Marry a Kelsey brother. Truth. Make a lot of money. Truth." Taylor Swift, now one of the wealthiest people in the world, is worth $2 billion. Yeah. Yeah. Um, if she signs me a check and there's a blank space, I hope she writes her name because that check would be worth a lot of money. And yeah, I know she's good for it. Yeah. So when I was in high school, there was a kid who used his floor hockey stick like a lightsaber. Like from the movie Star Wars, he used it like a lightsaber. So he pulled it out and go like like if you could have that fun with an inanimate object, that is awesome. Like I wish I could have that much fun using a piece of sporting equipment. Like I could just like grab a football and be like, it's just a ball of gold. So this ball of gold is worth $1 million. Whoa. That's awesome. Yeah. So when I was growing up, I watched the movie Harry Potter, like everybody. And Emma Stone from Harry Potter, she actually went to Brown University in Rhode Island, which like Brown is pretty good. It's like Harvard Junior, man. It's in New England. It's not quite the big leagues in Massachusetts, but you know, it's in Rhode Island. Yeah. Um, yeah, so in one of Emma Stone's classes, she like answers a question right, and like a random kid goes, "10 points for Gryffindor." Um, yeah, I don't think she found it that funny, but it was funny. 10 points for Gryffindor in a non-magical school, Brown University. She she would later transfer to Cambridge. I have no idea why. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to watch Harry Potter. I used to watch Monsters Inc. Dude, I had dreams about Monsters Inc. I had dreams about like Roz, the like strange like creature in Monsters Inc. that would be like, Wazowski, I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. But instead of Wazowski, it'd be like Garrison. I'm watching you, Garrison. Always watching. I'm watching you, Garrison. Always watching. And then I'd like wake up and she'd be like, Drew, Roz, how are you? I'm fine, Drew. How are you? Roz, a actual dream I had that was also a nightmare. Yeah. So, like, do you know when you see like homeless animals on the street, you're like, oh, there goes a stray dog, there goes a stray cat. You could never use that term pertaining to people. Like, you could never say, there goes that stray man on South Street. Like, oh yeah, I think there's a stray man on South Street. You can't say that. They're homeless. That's a homeless man who's also stray. Yeah. Let's see. So when I was 15, I got an iPod. Yeah, really cool. Because yeah, it was cool. So I'm like on a hayride, and the kid across from me is like, "Is that an iPod?" And I'm like, "Son, yes, it is." And he's like, "So what are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Smashing Pumpkins." And he's like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Exactly." Yeah, do you guys know that expression? Like, you miss 100% of shots you don't take? Well, to that, I say this. 100% is still pretty good. Like, 100% is an A. So, it's an A plus, actually. So, if you don't do something at all, you still get 100. So, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I'm kind of cartoony. Like, I do the voice of Toad. Wow! And I do the voice of SpongeBob. Oh, hi, Patrick. Mr. Krabs. Hi, Gary. Squidward. Like, yeah, I do SpongeBob. So, like, when I go to the gym and lift weights, like, all of a sudden, things will get pretty SpongeBob. Like, I'll be lifting weights and it'll be like, wow, wow, wow. Hi, Patrick. SpongeBob, you lift weight good. How much weight can you lift? About 3 pounds. How much weight can you lift? About 1,000 pounds. Really? No. Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel where I just read episodes of SpongeBob. And in reading every episode of SpongeBob, like, you learn a lot. Like, for example, Squidward is such a buzzkill. Like, he's always like, SpongeBob and Patrick, you're doing it wrong. Like, he's like the parent that like catches their kid having sex and is like, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. So I lived in Wisconsin for like a year and a half, and I gotta say, drivers in Wisconsin are just as aggressive as drivers in Pennsylvania, though they're a little bit more polite about it. Like, instead of like flipping you off after they cut you off, like drivers in Wisconsin will just kind of like wave. They'll be like, "Hi," instead of "screw you." They'll be like, "Hi, you." Like, you could say like drivers in Wisconsin are positively aggressive. They're progressive. They're positively aggressive. They're progressive. Yeah. So like this one time I'm like in college and I'm hanging out with a friend of mine and he's my roommate and I used to leave change on the floor. Like I used to leave like tons of change on the floor and he would say, "Drew, is change beneath you?" Drew, he'd be like, "Drew, is change beneath you?" And I'd be like, "Ha, it is a quarter. I'm 25 cents richer. Cool." Yeah. So, the important topics. Um, like if you see a if you use a self-driving car and you get pulled over, who gets the ticket? The car? Drew Garrison here, talking about the important issues. Yeah. So when I was 7 years old, I went to a restaurant and I was with my uncle and I asked for chocolate milk and they brought me plain milk. And my uncle says, I guess they couldn't catch any of the chocolate cows. Now, just for the record, there are dairy cows and there are regular cows. There are no chocolate cows. There's not a special breed of cow out there that pump chocolate milk. Chocolate cows are not like the unicorn of cows. It's not going to happen. Yeah, so um just to go back in time a little bit. Yeah, I did collect Barbies. I did play with Barbies. But like with action figures, there are two types of action figures. There's the kind that you leave in the package because they're valuable, and then there's the kind that you like take out of the package and play with. Like I think about if like celebrities were action figures, like Jason Momoa and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I feel like Jason Momoa is like the kind of action figure that you like take out of the package and play with, you know? He's really playful and like cool. Where I feel like The Rock is like the type of action figure that you'd like leave in the package because he'd be like, "You don't touch my package." Truth. Yeah, so I'm writing a short story about flying cats in outer space. It's called Space Cats. The other working title is Catapult. Now, I used to live in a house where I literally had horses in my backyard and like cows. Like, have you ever like looked at a cow and been like, "Hey, look, milk. Hey, look, milk." That's cool. Yeah. So, last week I was hanging out with my aunt and she's like, "You know, if I if I had a job at a chip factory where they make chips, yeah, I'd weigh 300 pounds." Yeah, I don't think it works that way. Like chip factory jobs aren't 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 eat as you go. Like you're not just like stuffing your face with like mounds and mounds of chips. Like chip factory, so I get to eat chips. It doesn't work that way. Like chip factories aren't chip restaurants. Like there's no complimentary bowl of chips. Yeah, so when I went to Christian Bible school, we wanted to play music on Sunday, and my camp counselor was like, "No, because it's God's day." I raised this question, but it isn't every day God's day? Like, didn't God make every day? So we could celebrate God's day tomorrow, but it's today. No, we could celebrate it tomorrow. So we took a vote and we played music because God wanted it that way. Yeah, so having kids is like having your own TV show. It's something about you that you run, you write for, and you watch on a daily basis. But you can't change the channel. because it's your life. Yeah. So I don't like I find the term an honest mistake to be confusing because is that like when you lie about how you failed? Like it's like saying like, yeah, I couldn't get the lawnmower to start because I didn't want it to, rather than I couldn't figure out how. The truth. So yeah, like they keep making Superman movies. They made another one called Supergirl because as the old adage goes, if it ain't broke, keep fixing it. So when I was in college, I was an English literature major. A lot of books. I basically paid $10,000 for a library card. Like like do you ever want to like go to the store and like trade in your college degree? Like unfortunately, college degrees aren't like vacuum cleaners. You can't just go to the store and be like, I'm not really happy with my college degree's performance. Do you think I could get another one? So I'm a big fan of the Irish goodbye. For parties, I always leave without saying goodbye to anyone. Because without saying goodbye to everyone, you say goodbye to everyone. Like you don't say goodbye to anyone. So you say goodbye to everyone. Because you want to say goodbye to everyone. But if you don't say goodbye to anyone, then you've said goodbye to everyone because it's the Irish goodbye. So by doing nothing, you do everything. So I don't get the term rainbow. Like, shouldn't it be no rainbow? Because a rainbow happens when rain stops. So when rain finishes, it becomes a rainbow. So it should be a no rainbow. Uh, um, so I like the word awkward. And if you add a W to it, you get walkward. Like if you're at like a crosswalk with seven intersections and you try to cross the road, but there's like seven ways to do it, that's walkward. Yeah, so when I went to Christian Bible camp, the one question I had is, yeah, when Jesus looked at his reflection in the water, did he ever go, Jesus? And then like later on, like closer to his death, like look at his reflection and go, Christ. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna be completely transparent, just completely honest. There is a person named January Jones. Yeah, the actress from like Mad Men, her name is actually January Jones. Like, I'm sure her parents just like flipped through a calendar and were like, June, no, May, no, September and October. That's ludicrous. Would you name a kid September? And then they flip to the beginning of the calendar, January. And for short, we could call her Jan, Jan Jones. And she sounds like a UFC fighter, Jan Jones. Oh, and in this end of the ring, we have January Jones. And in this corner, we have Ronda Rousey against January Jones, Jan Jones, and Ronda Rousey. Let's get ready to rumble. True story. January Jones sounds like a UFC fighter. So also at Christian Bible camp, Christian summer camp, uh, the legends were true. We read the Bible. And my favorite book in the Bible was Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. So Deuteronomy is about this dude named Moses who educates these old dudes and young dudes about the Ten Commandments, man. Dude, Deuteronomy. It's called Deuteronomy. Dude. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I used to eat Cheerios. And then I graduated to Cocoa Puffs. You could say I climbed the cereal ladder using a spoon. And I sat next to a girl in my psychology class in college who ate Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs! And that was pretty cool. That was love. Cocoa Puffs, love. Yeah. Like, have you ever thought about the mascot for Cocoa Puffs? Like, I looked it up. He's a cuckoo bird. He's like half rooster, half like s- half like standard bird. Like he's one of the weird mascots. Like he couldn't be a cool mascot like Captain Crunch or like Tony the Tiger. Like like with like Tony the Tiger, he's great. But I guess like the weird cuckoo bird like thing is like cooler than like Trix the Rabbit from Trix, who's a rabbit. The sworn enemy of gardeners across America, the rabbit. Yeah. So, like, do you notice how when parents have babies, like to track their age, they'll be like, you guys know Chris? He's 12 months old. Yeah, you guys know Kristen? 18 months. Like, the thing about keeping track of age that way is at some point you stop doing it. Like, I can't be like, hi, my name is Drew and I'm 420 months old. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So I'm writing a book about presidents. So I'm reading a lot of books about presidents, and it's really fun. So yeah, I've read books on George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Herbert Hoover, Calvin Coolidge, Teddy Roosevelt, James K. Polk, Andrew Jackson. Two books on Andrew Jackson because we have the same name, Andrew. Yeah. No, so I was reading a book about Woodrow Wilson, and the narrator calls him a mama's boy. It's like 1867, and he calls him a mama's boy. Yeah, I didn't know that term was that old. But yeah, like the narrator in the book, he calls the future president a mama's boy. Dude, aronomy. So, a little bit more about me. Yeah, I'm a bisexual, but I'm also a virgin, so it's more like a bisexual. Yeah. So, did you guys ever watch that show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yeah, it's a show about turtles that fight crime in New York, that fight crime on the mean streets of New York. A group of turtles. Yeah, like I feel like people had like too high expectations like for the turtles, you know? They're turtles. I think it's gonna take them a while. Like they expect them to fight crime and solve these cases. Like if they wanted it solved quickly, they should have chosen like a lion or a cheetah. Like they probably would solve it too fast. Like they could solve a crime in like 2 seconds. With a turtle, that same crime. that could take them 2 years. So you have a longer TV show that way. Yeah. Like turtles will get the job done. They just have to go at their own pace. Slow. Yeah. So last week I was talking to a friend of mine and he's like, speeding tickets are like birthdays because everybody has at least one. Like if you have two birthdays, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so when I was in college, one time many moons ago, like 17 years ago, yeah, I was barefoot in my college dorm, which was against the general protocols and regulations. See, I was locked out of my dorm room and stranded in the common area. I was watching a basketball game in the common area, and the team I was rooting for lost, which there's two teams that play each other. So you're gonna lose half the time. Yeah. So when the game was over, I thought, so was my college career because I was sockless in the dorm. So I'm in the common area and I called campus security nervously, afraid I would get a citation. So I dug into the sofa in the middle of the common area and found a long black sock that could probably hold like $100 in change because this sock was huge. Long story short, I took the sock off, didn't get into any trouble. The campus officer thought I was cute. She was training a security guard who was also shadowing her, and I was like a better looking version of that security guard. So she probably had a crush on that security guard, but then she saw me and she was like, "This is a better version." So that campus safety officer, you know, yeah, I think she wanted to sleep with me. Probably not, actually. No. Yeah, so do you know the term like that's apples and oranges? Like that's apples and oranges is used for two things that are similar but also fundamentally different. Where I want to bring back the term pears. Like you know how pears are like the fruit that's like the second choice? Like you have apples, you have oranges, and then you have pears. Like yeah, I want to say when two things are similar, that's pears. Because when you have a pair, you have two things that are similar. Yeah. So, like, one of my favorite words is awkward, and like two of my other favorite words are rapscallion and woebegone. So, a rapscallion is a playful troublemaker. If you're woebegone, you are extremely saddened. So, if you put them together, you become playfully sad. So, it becomes like, whoa, be gone. Whoa, be gone. And now you'll never have problems. So, yeah, I was at the beach last week and a seagull like swooped down and grabbed this lady's chicken burrito like right out of her hand and then dropped it in the sand. She then says, "You guys saw that, right?" As if seagulls can get pulled over and like you can give them criminal citations. Like, I guess if you could do that, you'd be like, "Hey, seagull, yeah, that flying was reckless endangerment. You're grounded. You can't fly for 2 weeks." Like, that would be cool if you could give random animals criminal citations. Like, if you could do that, I feel like that there would be so many squirrels on house arrest. Like if you could give animals criminal citations, like there would be so many squirrels on house arrest. All right, so when I was in high school, I had a math teacher named Heather Hall, like a superhero, Heather Hall. That nice alliterative name. And she taught math. Heather Hall is a superhero. She must solve complex math equations and avoid absolute zero. Absolute zero. So yeah, she taught algebra and like she taught the class about the rise and the run. How the rise is when the equation gets higher, and then the run is when it runs across really fast. Nah, the rise, ha, and the run. Whoa, rise, ha, run. Ha. Cool. Yeah, so when I was in school, I had a friend named Richard Rugart. Like Rugart spelled Rugart. Like it sounds like a garden for kangaroos. The Rugart. The Rugart. Yeah. Like that would be cool to have an unusual last name. Like the last name I have is very ordinary. Like I have a normal sounding last name that's like Garrison. Very normal. Like it looks exactly like it sounds. Like I've yet to meet someone who pronounces it Drew Garrison. You know, with Garrison, it has that mature vowel sound flavor. Garrison. Though, if they said Drew Garrison, that sounds cool. Like, I play guitar, so it could be Drew Guitarison. Or sometimes I'm pretty weird, so it could be Drew Bizarrison. Still, I have a pretty normal last name, Garrison. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm Drew Garrison. This has been Drew's Stand Up. Thank you guys so much for watching and for listening. Have a great day. Yeah.